Hey, you're listening to Witchy Spiritual Stuff with your host, me, Elementally, and today we're going to talk about how to create your own awesome personal mantra. So we've talked before about how to choose a mantra, so if you haven't already, go check that out because what we're about to discuss today is something related, how to create a mantra. Choosing a mantra and creating one for yourself aren't really all that different. You might find that some of the steps are kind of similar because they share the same purpose to help you meditate and to clear your mind. Some people might argue that creating your own mantra is more about uplifting your spirits. I totally agree that mantras can offer a lot of positivity in your life. Because mantras are originally sacred syllables, they're powerful enough to get you through tough times, but if your mind isn't clear, how can you even begin to raise your energy to a positive level? So we're going to go back to the inherent purpose of a mantra, clearing your mind. Then your body and your emotions will follow. So to create your mantra, there's two things I want to emphasize. One is that you can't rush it. Depending on your situation, your thought process, and your intuition, this can take days, even weeks. Don't stress when you feel like it's taking too long. Give yourself enough time to really reflect on your own personal mantra. After all, it's going to affect your life, your actions, your mindset, and your feelings in significant ways. Another really important thing to remember is that there's no right or wrong mantra. Some people might prefer Sanskrit mantras over their native language like English or vice versa. Either way, that's all right. While it's great to incorporate a Sanskrit mantra, there's no point in using it if it's something that you're uncomfortable with. Keep in mind that you're creating your own mantra. It has to be deeply personal and meaningful. Focus on yourself and what's best for you because this is going to lead you in the right direction. For those who want to learn how to create a mantra, here are the steps you can take. Number 1, write down your thoughts. The first step to clearing your mind is to write down your thoughts. I recommend keeping a journal because it's going to help a lot. With a journal or a notebook, you can go back to those thoughts and mull over them as much as you need. Over time, you're going to see phrases or topics that tend to repeat. When you write down your thoughts, you're unconsciously revealing a pattern, which is going to help you create your mantra later on. One good tip for journal writing is to begin when your mind is fresh. This can be in the mornings just before starting your day or in the evenings before going to bed. For some people, mental clarity happens in the middle of the day. Whenever you feel your mind is at its peak, that's likely to be the best time to write. Clarify your intentions. After a few days or weeks of writing in your journal, take the time to go back to your entries. Are you now seeing the pattern of your inner thoughts? Is there a topic or an emotion that keeps popping up? Seeing this pattern can help clarify your intentions for the mantra you're going to create. Often we can't define our innermost intentions in just one go. Some days we might feel sad and others we might feel happy but unmotivated. Sometimes we feel alone and other times we don't feel like we have enough space for just ourselves. Review what you've written so you can define your innermost intentions. If you still can't find one, you might have to write some more and then go back to it again after a few days. Remember, we're not rushing this. Pick your words carefully. Once you're able to clearly define your intentions, it's time to pick the words that are going to make up your mantra. In this step, you have to carefully choose the words you want to incorporate. I can't stress this enough. Words have power. They have more power than you might actually realize or ever acknowledge. That being said, here are some tips that can help. Use the first person. Again, this is your mantra. Claim it. Own it. Make it personal and meaningful. You can only do this when you state it in the first person. Avoid negative statements. This sounds like a no-brainer, but it can be really easy to fall into this trap. I'll use an English mantra as an example. I am not afraid. At first glance, you think this is a pretty solid mantra. The problem is that it uses the word not, which is negative. Instead, you can redefine this sentence as I am brave. It's more powerful, more reassuring, and it doesn't use any negative words. Be authentic. This means being comfortable in your mantra and believing in it 100%. You can follow an example, but your mantra has to work for you and not depend on anyone else. And number 4, you need to end with gratitude. Whether or not you're using mala beads to count how many mantras you should chant, it's always a good idea to end with a prayer of thanks. Again, you can use Sanskrit or your native language for this, but the important thing is to let gratitude flow through you to acknowledge this feeling. By ending with gratitude, we can get a higher level of positive vibrations. Remember that your mantra is yours. Creating your mantra is a highly rewarding experience. It can serve as your anchor when you want to clear your mind and overcome difficult situations, emotions, or even people. Focus on your innermost desires and intentions so you can stay authentic to yourself and your mantra. So now that you've learned how to create a mantra, what have you come up with? I'm excited to hear, so let me know.